We come to Nigeria and we discuss about the football stories. Remember that the Nigeria Football Federation, they give club sides in the NPFL, that's a deadline for what? That's the Federation's Cup, State Federation's Cup. And the games went down across different centers. It was a greater one for the Oluyole Warriors. 3 games in 3 days. Well, they were successful in all 3 games that they played over the course of, that's last week, down to yesterday, where they defeated Crown Football Club in the finals on penalty shootout. But for Eyimba, for Stanley Eguma's side, they lost yesterday, and it is not the best of results for them. In the female games also, Remo Stars Women's Football Club, they were victorious in their own Federation's Cup game. And then still talking about some highlights, some headlines from the world of sport over the weekend. We discuss about tennis stories, that's European tennis stories. And then we discuss about basketball, where the D Tigers of Nigeria, they were victorious in also 3 games in 3 days. And you will tell that for this side, they are going to be playing in the Afro Baskets. Remember that they missed the last one when they played the qualifiers here in Nigeria, the 𝐂𝐿 and suits. But this year, they'll be playing in the Afro Baskets Championship. And then outside that, we also tell you that that boxing bout over the weekend there in Saudi Arabia, Joseph Parker against Bakole, who was victorious. It only needed that's a second round, that's a knockdown, a knockout in that encounter, and Joseph Parker was victorious. So this and so many more we discuss on today's edition of the program, right on 32 FM 94.9. The program is Scoreboard in 15, and you're listening to the voice of Oluwatimileye SAMIES who do the program at this lovely morning. But so without wasting much of our time, let's go straight to England, and of course join our partners, the BBC, to take a listen to what they have for us. Right up from the reactions of the games that went down yesterday. But when we talk about English football stories also, for Rangers Football Club, they have let go of Clement Lenglet after they lost yesterday to the hands of St Mirren. So we join our partners, the BBC, to take a listen to this and more.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm John Wilkinson at the BBC Sports Centre. Liverpool lead the Premier League by 11 points, having played a game more than Arsenal, but after a 2-0 win at the defending champions Manchester City. It was only Liverpool's second win in 16 visits to the Etihad, but the Barsane slot says nothing's been decided yet.
In the last 4 or 5 years, except for the one time that Liverpool won the league, it's always been really tight till the end, because so many teams can win from each other. We saw this yesterday with West Ham beating Arsenal. We would have expected that. And now we have to face Newcastle, which was a very difficult opponent for us 3 months ago. So we are not getting carried away, but we are very happy with the win today.
Mohamed Salah made it 30 goals for the season and 20 assists. He both scored and set up Dominic Szoboszlai for 2-0. Defender Andy Robertson couldn't resist a dig at his expense, but went on to praise their star player.
Yeah, I think his goal took a deflection, so I won't give him that. No, like he's been unbelievable, even since the minute he came through this club, he's been unbelievable. But to this season, he's took it to an even another level, and he knew he had to help Trent on that side at times. He knew he had to do his defensive jobs as well, and that's probably what goes a bit unnoticed with him. He's been fantastic for this football club. He's been so good, and hopefully is for a long time to come.
For City, it's a 4th defeat in 6 games in all competitions. Erling Haaland wasn't well enough to be involved again, having missed the defeat to Real Madrid too. But Pep Guardiola says his involvement might not have made a difference.
It's unfair to say, for the reason that the guys who played today gave everything. I'm not a genius to know what would happen, so I don't know. So it will not be easy, because Konate, Van Dijk or Gravenberch and McAllister, being there, I would say it's not easy to handle it. But of course, with Erling we're a better team, and with Rodri we're a better team, and with the John Stones and Akanji we're a better team.
City are 4th in the Premier League, level on points with Newcastle, and that's because Eddie Howe's side beat 3rd placed Nottingham Forest 4-3 at St James's Park. Newcastle had led 4-1 at half-time.
Trying to control my thoughts, really, trying to stay very positive. We've won the game, and that's what we needed to do before the match started. I thought it was a great performance in the first half, but then we struggled to deal with the momentum shift in the game, and we didn't manage the game very well. So a lot to reflect on in that second half, but ultimately overall very pleased.
There's 4 games on Tuesday. Brighton host Bournemouth, Crystal Palace take on Aston Villa, it's Wolves against Fulham, and Chelsea host Southampton. For more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
All right, today listen to the BBC Premier League update. But moving away from England, let's go straight to the Italian Serie A and talk about the update from there. Well, for Ademola Lookman, he was on target yesterday, scored a brace for himself right after what he faced midweek. And that was in the UEFA Champions League from his head coach, that's Gasperini, from missing a spot kicker to scoring a brace yesterday. And he will tell that the mental toughness in which Ademola Lookman possesses at this point in time, well, probably is one that makes him the African best player. Well, his side were victorious yesterday by 5-0. And then talk about some other actions there in the Italian Serie A, where it was the note of great news for Fiorentina, where they suffered their second major scare this season. Well, for Moiskin, the Italian international, he was rushed to the hospital after the Italian took a knock to the head, but continued playing before he collapsed on the pitch at Hellas Verona in the Italian Serie A. Though they lost by 1-0, but I can tell you that that was the second big scare for Fiorentina this season after midfielder Eduardo Bove collapsed on the pitch against Inter Milan in December, which led to the match being abandoned. So at this point, let's see what the updates would be from the medics concerning Moiskin. And in the German Bundesliga for Bayern Munich yesterday, the Run Riot defeating their opponent, that's Eintracht Frankfurt, and they also have an 8-point lead at the top of the table. For Paris Saint-Germain, they won also yesterday against Lyon, and they also have a 13-point lead there in the French Ligue 1. But in the Spanish La Liga, well, it's still a horse race, 3 horse race, 54, 53 points. That's for FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico de Madrid. That's in that order. They occupy first, second, and third. That's in that order there in the standings of the Spanish La Liga. But let's move away from European football now and quickly come home to talk about some Nigerian football stories where MPFL sides Bayelsa United and Ikorodu City, they were dethroned as State FA Cup champions after defeats on penalties to Crusaders and Inter Lagos, respectively. That's dumped them out of the competition that's in the finals. Well, for Bayelsa United, they came into the Bayelsa State finals as the overwhelming favourite. But after it finished 2-2 in regulation time, it was the Academy boys that triumphed 4-2 on penalties to clinch the trophy. Similarly, back-to-back champions Ikorodu City lost 5-4 to Inter Lagos on penalties after it finished the goalless. That's in the Lagos State final on Sunday. But here in Ibadan, the Lagos Salami Sports Stadium, while Shooting Stars Sport Club, they claimed the trophy after they defeated second division side Crown FC 4-2 on penalty shootout after it ended goalless in regulation time. Mustafa Lawal, the goalkeeper who came on, well, of course, for Chinedu and Nausea, well, just before the shootout, saved 2 spot kicks to continue his strong form this season. And of course, you tell that for a Yimba Football Club, it was not the best. They lost to the hands of AS Ayudia by 3-1 on penalty shootout after regulation time ended 0-0. Quickly talking about some basketball stories. Well, it began on Friday where the Niger D Tigers defeated Cape Verde yesterday 77-62 in their final Group B game at the second window of the FIBA AfroBasket qualifying tournament there in Libya, Tripoli to be precise. And the result meant that the D Tigers, they have booked their spot at the 2025 AfroBasket tournament there in Angola. And it is the D Tigers' third win in the group after overcoming Libya and Uganda in their opening 2 games. And they finished up in the group on 9 points after 3 games, while Cape Verde are second. Another teams who have already qualified for this year's edition are Democratic Republic of Congo, Senegal, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Egypt, Tunisia, South Sudan, Madagascar, Mali, Guinea, and Rwanda. And this year, there will be this will be the D Tigers' 20th appearance at the AfroBasket tournament, and they won their first and only continental title in 2015, having finished runners-up 4 times: 1997, 1999, 2003, and 2017. Well, the AfroBasket will begin from the 12th to the 21st of August there in Angola. right, just before I leave the show this lovely morning, Nigeria's number one ranked squash player Busayo Olatunji, she revealed that her ultimate goal is to secure a spot among the top 50 or 60 players there in the world. Well, definitely the Ekiti-born athletes expressed their determination to climb higher in the world rankings, vowing to remain relentless. Well, in her words, she said squash is a game she loves so much, and she works daily to break into the top 50-60 in the world rankings, and strongly believe in herself and know that she will achieve it, and it's only a matter of time. With dedication and hard work, it will come easy, and she will make the country proud. Well, currently she is ranked 151st in the world, and the professional squash player began her journey in 2009 at the age of 10, and she transitioned into the under-19 category by 2014. But definitely will come later in the afternoon to discuss about Busayo Olatunji, Nigeria's that's a squash player. But thanks so much to everyone who has joined us on today's edition of the program. Up next is Baba Vendo. I am SAMIES, your sports captain. I'll be back here by 3:30. Scoreboard Reloaded. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and bye for now.